Joining us on the post-game show is UW-Stevens Point basketball coach Bob Semling. Well, we expected that we would witness a very good game, and it went right down to the wire. Oshkosh loves to come into this building and play. They somehow always shoot well in this building. They have, well, my opinion, the best player in the league in DJ Marsh. And they gave you a heck of a battle. Credit your guys for withstanding that and getting the victory.
There's no question. We made a number of clutch plays on defense and on offense down the stretch, under pressure, with our backs against the wall. And, that's how you're going to profit so much during the season. And, we're going to take everybody's best shot, so we just got to kind of get used to this. But our guys have been there before, and I really was proud of our courage and our resiliency down the stretch, and we found a way. We just weren't going to accept not winning this game on our floor, and it just came down to just big determination and a lot of courage to make clutch plays.
Talk about defending DJ Marsh.
Yeah, I regret starting straight up on him. He scored early and often, and I think we need to rethink that. He had 11 of their first 13 points. And that helps that team really believe that they can be in this thing for the long stretch. So we got to do a better job. I think it was more scheme than anything. He got a few easy ones on us, but we got to crowd him better, and that takes some scheming on our end. So that's something as a coaching staff we'll make some adjustments.
But just beyond DJ himself, this was really a game of matchups on both ends, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a and guys in foul trouble, and just trying to, hope you can make it through and still play good enough defense when you're saddled with 3 and 4 fouls, but you just can't come out of a game like that. So,
and their game plan was to make you sustain on the defensive end, because they ran that shot clock down to 5 and 4 the whole game.
There's no question, and I give them a lot of credit because besides DJ playing well, like we knew he would, they just did enough. They hit enough big threes with Shrimp, Whitwer, and just did enough, around the basket. A few hustle plays. In fact, I thought that was the key to the game. They had 9 to 12 points on hustle plays, and that was at a stretch when they actually got the lead.
14 to be exact.
Yeah, and at that point we said that's enough, and then from that point forward I thought we actually closed that for them and ended that, and then we actually got a few hustle plays on our end, so that was really important. I brought Jared out with me. Jared is really as he becomes a junior, he's becoming more of a leader and a big part of who we are as a basketball team, and certainly he did a great job on DJ. He had a huge challenge, and I'm sorry we didn't give you as much help tonight as we should have, Jared, but he was outstanding. And what I like, Jared still found a way to take care of the ball and help us on the offensive end. So, a credit to Jared Jenkins and what he's meant to this basketball team. So I'm going to turn it over. If you guys have any other questions,
that's good.
We'll look forward to it. It's going to be another tough one.
Yep.
And this is the way it's going to be. We got to be at our best, and we got to be ready to take everybody's best shot. So I'll turn it over to you guys with Jared. Thanks, guys.
Good. Thanks, Coach. Pointers winning here tonight, 73-67. And joining us now on the post-game show is Stevens Point junior Jared Jenkins out of Milwaukee and King High School, and an All-American punter at that. And I'll be honest with you, Jared, I think you're an All-American wide receiver too. That's my opinion. Let's first talk about tonight's game. Wow, what an assignment. Talk a little bit about guarding a guy with the athleticism, and you're a great athlete, but DJ Marsh is something else to try to defend in a one-on-one situation.
DJ's a really great player, has a lot of upper body strength, so it's kind of hard to guard him when he drives to the basket and gets his shoulder into you. So you kind of just have to square him up and just do your best to try to not give him anything easy. So then my teammates helped me out a lot about helping over and stuff like that. So, it's a big task to guard somebody like DJ, who's obviously a great player, so he was player of the year last year in the Wire. So
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, that's a load. And it is a team game, isn't it? I mean, you did need to get some help. I know on that final, if you will, play, Nick Kroll scooted in there and got the ball free, and I think it ended up in Matt's hands or something.
Yeah, that was a big play for Nick to step over. We've been talking about it in the huddle that really got to help over on DJ when he gets it in the post. And Nick was right there, Johnny on the spot, right when he got into it, and made DJ travel, which was a really big, possession for us to get that stop and for us to really take control of the game right there.
Jared, you're talking about DJ's strength, but you're an awful good athlete yourself, and a great football player, and just getting better and better on the floor. What's your best attribute? How do you evaluate yourself? Because you're quick and you're strong. How do you see your best attribute as an athlete?
That pretty much, I'm an overall player. I can do it all. Coach always tells me to try to play inside and out so that I can use, because when I got smaller players, he wants me to play inside, and I got bigger players to play outside. So I think that's a big attribute, to be able to play in both positions and be able to play either way from 1 to 4, from the point guard to the power forward, anywhere and guarding one. So I think that's a big attribute for me, and me to be able to use my abilities.
You've worked on your jump shot, haven't you? I mean, I remember as a freshman, it wasn't like you were a mad shooter, but there were at times I'm like, well, maybe no, okay. But now I'm as happy as heck when you're going up for a jumper. How much work was it?
Well, it's a lot of work, just working on my form and just getting more in the rhythm of actually shooting the ball a lot more and stuff like that. Coming from football is never easy. Just like the jump shot is one of the main things that you lose. So it just takes a little bit of time, but I think I'm really finding my groove a little bit and just continue working on it to get better at it.
Also an 85% free throw shooter. Has that been pretty much the way from high school, or is that something that's gotten better? Because that's sweet, 85.
Yeah, I always made the joke that last year, every time I come off the bench, right when I get in, I get fouled cold right away. So then I usually make 1 or 2 or something like that, and then there goes my free throw percentage going down again. But yeah, I just continue to work on that, just a little bit of extra free throw shooting after practice and stuff like that to really help improve my jump shot. So when I do drive to the basket and get fouled, it's a 3-point player, I can make both free throws instead of 1 out of 2, which can add up 4 or 5 points in the game.
For our fans who don't come out to Pointer football, you've missed the chance to watch a tremendous athlete at wide receiver as Jared. You'll get one more season. Jared, talk about the transition coming from football to basketball. I mean, we know you're in good shape playing football, but it's a different game out here. Talk a little bit about that and the things that you have to do to try to transition as quickly as you can to play on this short court instead of a 100-yard field.
Yeah, it's a different kind of conditioning. In football, you sprint, then you got about 25 seconds to relax. Then you sprint hard, 25 seconds here. You could be sprinting back and forth for 2 minutes straight. So it's a different kind of conditioning, but you just got to continue to work hard on it. And it's kind of hard because coming into football, I have all summer to really hone on my football skills and to get better at that, and then I go straight into basketball. So it's kind of rusty. So during the summer, I just try to take an hour or so just to continue just to work on basketball just a little bit, so that when I come into basketball, I don't be too rusty with it, so I can continue to help the team right away.
Did anybody ever advise you not to try to do the two?
All the time.
Yeah, and fortunate for Pointer fans, somebody listened to your desire to want to play the two, huh? Is that part of your decision for being here?
Yeah, that was one of the main decisions why I came here. I've recruited at other white schools and stuff just to play football, or at other schools just to play basketball, but I just really love both sports and I didn't know which one I really wanted to play more. So I decided to come here just so I could play both. And I always made the metaphor like football and basketball is like my children. I don't know which one I love more. Like you can't love more one than the other. So that's kind of how I felt about both sports. So that was one of the main decisions when I came to Stevens Point.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you here, and you perform very, very well on both fields. I've got to ask you, because I keep thinking that somewhere down the road you might have a chance to get paid to play football. Is there any chance that might happen, Jared?
I hope so. Let's just say that. I'm just going to continue to work at it, continue to try to get better, and hopefully I get some looks. If not, it's just been a wonderful career here at Stevens Point. So, it's just been a blessing either way. But, making it to the NFL wouldn't hurt at all.
There's probably a few Division I teams that would pay you right now.
Yeah.
But coming back to being serious, I always like to know a little bit about the student too. So you're here studying what, and what do you want to be when you're old, like being Scotty?
I still don't have a major technically. but I was leaning towards communication and maybe a minor in business to think about doing something that you're doing right now, little sports broadcasting and stuff like that. You know, that's always been a dream of mine, just to stay in sports, you know, when I get out of it. So, you know, hopefully I can get into that when I graduate and stuff like that. Maybe you guys can hook me up with something.
That sounds good. We'll try.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Big game coming up again Saturday now. I mean, one in the bag, so to speak, but right away Saturday, and another team that loves to shoot the three ball comes in to take you on.
So that's going to be a big challenge too. You know, we can be happy about the win today, but tomorrow we got to get back to work. You know, work out, get a good practice in, and focus on lacrosse. And then really got to. They have amazing shooters, a great backcourt, so we really got to focus on stopping them and just hope to contest all the shots. Hopefully, get another win.
Jared, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great effort.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Pointers win it here today. Final.
All right, Jared.